Okay, time to wrap it up. This is July 6, 2015. Came into the market this morning on the E-mini, hoping to buy the 40-45 area and sell the 60-65 area. Turns out that the sell came out of the 65-70, so that gave us a loser. Right here, we picked it up and made the money back, plus a little more off of this trade right here. Both were done live in the room. Talked about this as a potential exhaustion bar and why it might be such. 1, 2, 3. Plus we had a lot of volume in that bar, so here was the trade that second trade that we took that got our money back. And then the market just kind of goes into chop. This is a sell zone, this is a buy zone, and you can see how structure works. So over lunch, they set up a nice sell, and the market took itself lower. Very, very choppy trading once again. Took a lot of patience. Then right here, retest failure off the value area low that came back in. So here we sit. What will tomorrow bring? Looking at the F1 screen, there's really no news to speak of tomorrow. We've got international trade balance and jolts, so the market will be on pins and needles awaiting something out of Europe and or Greece, perhaps China's markets. Lower high, lower low, pretty big day. Kind of closing out here, close to the middle, maybe a little bit to the top side. So this one tells us the F1 screen to be a seller. Looking at the F2 screen, interesting distribution right here. We have really the correct way to look at it would be a double distribution if you put them back together. A little bit more volume in the upside, so I think a double distribution split is the correct way to do this. And you can see how volume really pulls the market. And so here we sit. So tomorrow, last rotate up was 55, 56. The spell was from 60, so we'll be back to our 59, 61. Sell 1, 64, 66, sell 2. Pretty much where we were. Think we might be headed a little lower, but for Globex tonight, 50, 52 is the buy. And then 45, 47. Basically see trading range markets until the Greek situation is resolved. Okay, tomorrow's a 3-year auction. Like I said, we don't have much in the way of news. We've got jolts, international trade, and neither one of those usually bring much response in the market. My guess is that if the market does move big time, it'll be a piece of news out of Europe on Greece. So higher low, higher high on the F1 screen. We're looking for a place to buy it. So here's this distribution, and it's pretty square. So for Globex, selling failure to take out 24.28, and I don't mind that trade. I prefer the long side, but for Globex and for tomorrow's 3-year auction, they can't take a market straight up and move paper. So selling failure to get through 28, followed by a 31 to 03. On the buy side, we're at 22 last. Put 13 to 17 buy 1. And then 5 to 9 for buy 2. Okay, looking at the 30-year, and there's probably a little more opportunity to the short side in the 30-year if it does sell, just because of the contraction of the knob spread. Pretty strong market. It's still expanding now. We definitely have a P beneath us. So selling failure to take out the 52 even, 5204 area. Then 11 to 15 for sell 2. On the buy side, we had this breakout here. So 13 to 17. Might take a 21 to get in. Depends on what happens in the E-mini late this afternoon. Then 51.01, 51.05 for buy 2. If the E-mini sells heavily into its close, we do not want to be short the financials. Gold, really quiet. Haven't had a lot of interest in the market one way or the other, and it's kind of a puzzler. I mean, if you think about what's going on in the euro this year, Greece and other countries, makes you, like I said, wonder just a little bit. So we got a seller definitely above 75. And have had a buyer below 63, and here we are at 68.50. So higher low, higher high. This screen actually favors the long side. And I did a G split, could have done an F split, really could have done a C split. Any one of them, but I think that's probably a little more accurate. So cell 1 is going to be 70, 72. Cell 2 is going to be 75, 77. On the buy side, 60 to 63. And then 55, 57 for buy 2. You would have guessed we'd been higher with all this stuff going on, so I'm a little bit nervous on the buy side because we're not higher with news that would normally take us higher. And looking at crude, really got slammed today. And my guess is we're headed for 50. So this 50, 50 and a quarter, this K tail down here looks like the best place to be a buyer. So this one definitely says find a place to sell at that screen. Now usually crude, after we've had a big sell day, pauses. It doesn't really do a lot. So for Globex, we're going to sell failure to take out 53, 53 and a quarter. We'll adjust this in the morning. And then our 53.50, 53.75. On the buy side, a little bit lower, 52, 52 and a quarter, playing for a pause day. We got our high volume number down there at 51. That's the attractor right now. So then 51.50, 51.75 for buy 2. Greece in trouble with lower demand for petroleum products. And you got to figure that there's going to be some of that, even if the Greeks are protesting against austerity. The real reason Germany hasn't, beside the ministerial desires and wishes to maintain those jobs in Brussels, is that they can absorb the loss of Greece. If they come in and they restructure or forgive Greece's debt, they'll have to do it for the rest of the pigs nations. And that's going to be hard to do, even though there is no money to repay that debt. So Europe's really, I mean, you could not forgive debt and change it from 30-year paper to 50-year paper and kick the can down the road. But send a message to Italy and Spain that you're not going to get out from underneath your obligations either. It's hard to say. So the euro is pointed lower. A 110 market right here. Looks like 111.50. 50, say 50 plus or minus 25. Lower high. Actually, it's an outside day, and that suggests trading range because it's an outside day. So we have a P in a down market. Some shorts covered today. We're at 60. Sell 1 will be 75. Sell 2 will be 111. On the buy side, 10 and a quarter, buy 1. And then buy 2 will be 110 even. And that's it for July the 6th, 2013. I will see you all bright and early in the morning. You'll have a great evening. Fun to be back in the saddle today. And with that said, I'm out of here.